Bob, we had some other picks. We did pretty good.
Right.
We dropped a few balls. We dropped some. You can't get them all right.
Right.
So
half of them, I didn't even know what they had. He was just throwing names at me.
Well, we nailed the UNC Virginia Tech pick. We both went with Virginia Tech at home.
We did.
They pulled the upset.
Yeah,
UNC did not look like a number 10 team to me. Bit shell shocked with the big crowd.
Again, Rob, home game.
Home game.
Yeah.
Big crowd. That place was rocking. Enter Sandman, and the Hokies got it done. Credit to them.
Right.
I'm not a believer in UNC at all.
That's what happens when you're high ranked and you got to play your first game on the road. I told you, beginning of the year, even teams that are supposedly not as good as you, if you got to play them on the road, they think they are, and they're going to come out there firing to take you out. And that's exactly what Virginia Tech did. And it didn't shock me at all that North Carolina didn't win that game. Not at all. No.
None.
None. Nope.
So there we have that. Now, actually, I don't remember what you picked, Bob. I picked the wrong pick on this one. It was Michigan State, Northwestern. I thought Northwestern at home, it seems like they've been in that Big Ten championship game a couple times recently. I thought Michigan State was heading downhill, and Michigan State went there, and they whipped them up pretty good, 38-21.
I thought I said Michigan State because I don't believe in Northwestern. They really, I know they had a few good years, but as a rule, they've been pretty lousy. Overall. And, I'm sure a lot of people in Illinois will want to kill us now for saying that. Charlton Heston, brother, that's where he went. Big actor.
And a tremendous shout out to the Holy Cross Crusaders for your resounding victory over underdog Connecticut. I'm just assuming UConn was the underdog.
Well, they're always the underdog where you're
just concerned,
Rob. You never wanted them to win, so they're always the underdog.
Just wanted to mention that one. Now, I think you got this one right, and I got this one wrong. Stanford, Kansas State won 24-7 at home. I think you picked them to win at home.
Right. Again, Stanford hasn't been,
Stanford seems to be sliding
a little bit. Yeah.
More so than they already had been. We both got this one wrong, I think. The Penn State-Wisconsin game. I always assume Wisconsin is going to be great every year and be a contender, and they don't always measure up. But that's reputation for you.
Okay. This is what I thought about that game. And Tony and I, my brother, we talked about it. Well, he just texted me for a second. He's pretty busy. When I was watching it, I thought I was watching a 1970s football game because the new coach for Wisconsin did nothing but run the ball way too much. He never even tried to pass it. And then when I saw the quarterback try to pass it, 4 times they were in the red zone. 1 time they scored. The other 3, they didn't even get a field goal. He tripped his own running back 1 time trying to hand off. Another time he tried to hand off the ball, got fumbled right into the Penn State linebacker's hands. Another time he went back to pass. I think 1 time he got picked off, and then another time he fumbled. It was the worst play calling I've ever seen. The coach was a joke. The quarterback's ridiculous. They gave that game to Penn State. Early in the game, Wisconsin could have blew them out. They had the momentum. But as the game kept going on, Penn State stuck with it. They're pretty solid. They're a decent team. But you could see they were getting more confident as the game went on. And then once that quarterback started, the Wisconsin quarterback was the best player Penn State had on the field that day because he gave them that victory. He was disgusting. And if that coach don't step it up and change things, he won't be in Wisconsin very long. The guy just wasn't very good. And the quarterback was worse. And that's what I told my brother. And my brother texted me the same exact thing. Penn State got a gift. They got a tough road win. But Wisconsin, you talk about a game that was given to them, Wisconsin gave that to them. We got a comment that UCLA was garbage yesterday and LSU gave them everything. No, we took everything from LSU. We outplayed them. We out-physicaled them. We even hurt a few of them. They got hurt. Some of them went out of the game. We dominated that game start to finish. We ran better than them. We threw better than them. Yeah, Robinson had 330 yards, but if you keep throwing 5-yard passes, Burt Jones used to do that with the old Colts. Used to lead the league in passing every year, and they would never win nothing. He would always throw short, not deep. So, but he would rack up stats. Stats are for losers. Winning is everything. And
that's the only stat that matters.
That's
win
right.
Column.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get people to see here. I want them to take a different view of things. And I commented back to the guy who said it. I said, this is the very thing I'm trying to stop in this world. You are just you're living, have those rose-colored glasses on, and you're seeing things according to your own personal likes as compared to reality. If people do it in sports, they do it in life, and it needs to stop. This is not reality, no matter how much you want it to be or how much you like it. What really is reality is the fact that yesterday we weren't given anything. We took everything, and your team, LSU, this guy, did not play very well. And they have a lot of, I'd be very concerned about your defense. You know, the commenters that came to us and, you know, apologized and even started talking, thank you guys. And please watch all our shows. That's what we want, you know. But for the guys that are so stubborn still, because they want us, I want to win. It's like a 5-year-old. I want my blanket or else. No, you're not getting the blanket. You got the shaft. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, just be real about things. Even if it's killing you and you don't like it inside, you just have to be real. We took that game. We won that game. That's it. Am I right, Ron?
No doubt about it, Bob. It was a full spectrum dominant performance across the board.
Right.
I thought you guys won the trenches too. I mean, the big boys.
Yep.
The coaching, the play calling. Chip Kelly did a great job. He knew what was on the line. He knew his job was on the line.
That's what I said. That's what I said the other day.
He got them motivated, and you know what? Look, little videos like ours. That's chalkboard material. Everyone, you know, it wasn't like most people thought UCLA was going to make this upset. We were in the minority, so they said, "Hey, you're not coming in our house and pushing us around." And they stepped up and they got it done, Bob. They got it done.
You know what though? You're right, Rob. There was a bunch of big predictors that started leaning our way as the game.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. Oh, even the top experts on game day,
right?
They were split. By the time it got closer, people were starting to see the wisdom in the pick,
right?
So it wasn't a shocker. This is not some shocking. This isn't Syracuse Clemson 2017, guys. That was a big upset. I think that was over 20 point. That might have been a 20 plus point spread. Okay, this was a 2.5 point spread.
Right.
Different ball game. So, yeah, it wasn't. There were some picks towards UCLA at game day and some in the consensus, amongst the consensus. But the overall consensus was still that LSU was going to win. But like I said, not everyone gets these picks right. I mean, I just named off a couple games where I got 3 wrong. Bob got 1 wrong. It happens. I think we both went with West Virginia, over Maryland, and that was a mistake.
Well, West Virginia was winning that whole game, and then again, they were on the road. They couldn't hold it, and Maryland didn't look all that bad. I mean, you know, they put up a lot of points. So
no, they look improved.
Yeah, they did.
Sorry, go ahead.
The people that are listening to us have to realize it is the first game of the year, you know, so there's always going to be, well, what do they look like? You know, because people go in and out. They don't stay. So it takes a week or two to get a good idea, unless it's something like the UCLA LSU, because that I knew was coming. But we did really well. How about Georgia, right?
Yeah, Georgia shut down Clemson's offense.
Right. And I thought that they would beat them, and they did.
And I agreed. I made the same pick, Bob. We got that right.
You did.
Clemson, not apex football team they've been the last couple of years. I'm convinced of that. Clemson. I think they will drop more games.
Right.
I just don't. You're replacing a generational talent in Trevor Lawrence. I don't think it can be stated enough how talented he was. You did lose a top back who I don't expect to pan out in the NFL, Travis Etienne, but there's no doubt about it. No question what he accomplished in college.
That's right.
He was a dominant back.
That's true.
And those are huge holes to miss. And this QB has a massive undertaking upon his shoulders. Trevor won the title as a freshman. They were in the playoffs every year, I think. Did Trevor win more than one title or just the one?
Well, didn't he lose to LSU?
Did they lose to LSU? Was that the one? I think so. They lost. He lost as a sophomore, and then he won his freshman year, lost the playoffs to LSU 2019, and lost the playoffs last year to Ohio State.
So he won 1 of 3.
1 of 3, but made the playoffs each year. I don't see
No,
that.
no, he's
happening.
great. And you see, Rob, that's it. Like, what did I tell you last week? Like, quarterback's the most important position. When you lose it,
Yeah, I mean, you have your small sample. He was only a freshman, the Clemson quarterback last year.
right?
But he did lose the Notre Dame game when he came in. Trevor came back. They took care of them. Now they did have more defensive players come back in that game. I'm just not a believer in this guy. They'll rack up win. They're gonna have over 8 wins. I'd be shocked to see them have less than 9 wins. That'd be stunning. Table. I'm calling it now. They're not running the table.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I like. They're solid. They're always right there. And if you don't have a quarterback or a running back, they're gonna beat you. So, I mean, they're. I just thought they'd win the game. I really did. I mean, and
they've been great. Georgia's been great. They've been right there. If it wasn't for Alabama, if it wasn't for them, they would have more titles. No doubt about it. They've been so close.
That's right. But it's just Bama. I mean, how great are they?
Yeah, I don't think Georgia's beating them this year.
I think anybody was beating them.
I don't think so either. I think I'm okay with just accepting that they're going to be the champion.
Yeah, because, you know what? Yeah, this is like in the 70s when UCLA was going to win every year and you couldn't do nothing
about it. You just expect it. You just assume that's what the deal is.
Right. And you know, it's funny. Like, I watched one play of the game because I was really more focused on the UCLA and the other games. But the guy drops back to pass and, you know, Alabama's on their 6-yard line. He just throws a 94-yard. Guy's wide open down the sideline. Goes 94 yards for a touchdown. Nothing phases this team. I mean, they're a machine for real. So,
and we both had no doubts that Alabama would easily cover the spread, which they did.
Right.
The 31. They won by 31. No, the spread was done. I don't even know if the spread made it the second quarter.
And that was the other reason I didn't really care about it because
it was a given.
It was a given.
See, that's
care to watch.
You see how Bob and I treated that with such certainty.
Yeah.
Talk about you made some comments against us, but if you LSU fans felt that way about the UCLA game, you're a little off. You're a little off in your perception about that team. Alabama was a no doubt going to cover and blow them out. No question about it. No debate.
See, that's what I was saying, Rob. Like the LSU fans, they were so wrapped around LSU.
Yeah.
They actually started imagining things that weren't there. Like they were actually a new Alabama. Well, they're not. And everybody else. And not just that, that's just what the word disdain. That's what it means. Looking down on the other teams like, oh, I'm important and you are nothing. UCLA is a good team. It is not like they're, nothing.
Look, guys, you didn't go on the road to play Cal State Fullerton. You played the flagship California school, UCLA. Yeah, you lost.
Right.
A lot of other teams have lost the Rose Bowl too against UCLA. You're not the first. You're not the last.
That's exactly right. And, that's what I'm trying to stop. Like I said, Rob, everybody's too much of a fan sometimes and don't see the truth. And that's what I'm trying to stop. I want you to see the truth. What's really going on. That's what I want. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to one comment, right? Thank you for keeping it real. I don't know who that was the other day. That's what we're doing. And thank you for that. That's what we're doing.
And if we veer from that, if Bob and I veer from keeping it real, call us out all day, every day. Call us out. We're being a bunch of phonies.
Right.
We're laying down some nonsense. Call it out. That's what the comments are for.
Right. See, like I said, when I worked at ESPN, what's funny? They did all this stuff and did all these stats and all rundowns. And they would plot, they would come out with things that didn't even matter. But at the end, they had to make a pick, right? Who do you pick? Oh, well, I picked that team because they're home. You didn't have to go through all the rest. Just come out and say it. That's what you really think. Just put the good stats out there. Stop all the hype. You don't need the hype. Put the good stats and go, I picked them because. That's all you got to do. They're better, or they're playing here, or that one's, it's just a good matchup. They match up well again. And be real about it. Don't come up with all this garbage. Like, a matter of fact, Rob, I think Lem, remember that guy, Hank Lem or whatever that was?
Hunter Lem, obnoxious, totally disrespectful. That guy,
yeah. You know what he said? He goes, "This is just garbage." What we're saying. And I go, "I bet you feel like garbage right now." And by the way, Just put yourself in a bag, put yourself on the lawn. The garbage man will pick you up on Tuesday. You'll have a free ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can join the rest.
You can join the rest because you know what? I'm not trying to pick. Everybody thinks I'm picking on LSU. No, I'm just Ohio State. Once they hear this, and by the way, this ain't over. We're going to talk about Ohio State later in the year. Once they catch wind of what I said about them in Michigan, and I think Michigan's going to beat them, you can bet it. I'm not going to be welcome in Ohio for a while. But I'm telling the truth. Now, I'm not saying that, the quarterback didn't look good. It was only one game, and they're good, but they're not going to win the national title. But he's got to get way better. And even if he did, Alabama's waiting for you. So I don't know. You're not winning. It's that simple. You better hope they all get hurt in Alabama, or they all go dog hunting in the woods or something.
And anyone outside the SEC or inside the SEC, everyone, you kind of need a miracle if you're going to win this playoff. Mm-hmm. If somehow, some way, Alabama didn't get in, which I can't envision, that's pretty much your only hope. If they're in, they're winning, and that's it.
So Ohio State, they're going to get mad. I don't think Oklahoma's that good. We haven't talked about them. They did win, right?
Tulane gave them everything they had.
Yes, they did.
Tulane is a mid-major, but they're not a slouch mid-major. But Oklahoma should have taken care of them pretty soundly.
The game was home.
It was home, and even though they accommodated them, they only let in half the crowd, all that stuff they did for them, which was very gracious of Oklahoma to do for Tulane. Yeah, red flags. A lot of red flags in that defense. I mean,
a lot of red flags in the defense. The quarterback wasn't sharp either. He threw some interceptions. You know what was funny? They were struggling early, so I stopped to watch it, and I'm going, ooh. And then all of a sudden, they started pulling away.
You couldn't turn away. It was right there. It was right there.
Right. But and then they started pulling away like 35-14 but I still never got the feeling it was that dominant. And then all of a sudden, I just stopped watching because there was other games on, and I went back, and all of a sudden, they only won by 5 points. I'm like, look, I'm not being that nice to them, Rob. You know why? I understand Tulane's a mid-major, but like that game, they should have annihilated them. That was one of those,
that's a 35-7 game.
55-7 is more like it. That's what it should.
Yeah. If you're going to be a title contender, if you're going to be if you can compete against Bama, you need to put that game away.
So now I'm going to make people mad down in the old Oklahoma oil fields are down here because you ain't going to win either with that kind of performance. Alabama's going to kill you. They're going to kill you. I mean, they're not very good. That quarterback, he didn't impress me. And he's one of the Heisman hopefuls. Wow. He better get a lot better than that. And I'm sure he'll get better, but I didn't like what I saw. Ohio State, they're good, but they ain't going to win. I still think Michigan's going to beat them. How about that? They're due. And by the way, Michigan looked good at home. Notice they played Western Michigan, but they kicked their tail.
But they kicked their tail like they're supposed to.
They kicked their tail, right.
And they're due, and they want that game. They're going to be starving for that game.
Right.
And eventually, it's going to happen. And it might happen this year.
No, it's going to happen this year. I think it. And it almost happened a couple of years ago when they played there. I think it's going to happen this time. And I remember one year when UCLA was not very good and SC was taking no prisoners. And I kept telling my brother, we're going to win. The game's at home. And he was like, no. And we ended up getting the big interception in the end and won the game and ruined the whole season. Yeah. I'm telling you, that's what Michigan's going to do. Yup.
Oh, yeah. So we have another comment, and I do want to comment on rivalries in general. Yeah. So Riz Taylor, hope I pronounced your name right, says Bama at Florida, week 3 game. The spread is currently set at 15.5. What are both? Alabama at Florida, week 3. The spread is currently set Bama favorite 15.5. What are both of your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, that's Reese, my friend. Tua. But he loves my.
Reese Taylor is Reese. Oh,
that's Reese. Yes.
Okay, Reese.
That's Reese.
Sorry, Reese.
What do I think about that? It's 15-point spread.
15.5-point spread in favor of Bama.
You know what? They'll cover.
I mean, Bama's going to win the game.
I got to tell you, I was with Reese last night watching UCLA, and Florida Atlantic game against Florida was not on. They didn't put it on, so he's watching it on the phone. He's good. He's showing me the score, and he goes, "Bob, it's almost halftime. It's only 14-0." I go, "You're screwed." Because you know what? You'll win the night, but when Bama comes, you won't.
You're not being Alabama.
No. And
15 and that
not
line
that
will
much,
probably
really.
I mean, I could see Bama beating it.
Okay, you don't think Bama Bama can't beat them by 2 touchdowns? Because that's pretty much what it is.
I mean, 35-17, that seems to be a realistic Bama over Florida on the road score.
And what was last night's score for Bama against Miami?
44-13.
Yeah, that's more like it. Okay. You think Florida's a little better than Miami?
I think Florida's a little better than Miami. I think they need a great coach. That's their problem. They haven't had a really good coach since Larry Coker left. Let's be honest.
Right. He was good.
You give them a good coach.
Yeah.
It's such a hotbed of recruiting. They will do it. But now they don't. Miami doesn't have the best players anymore, and now they don't even have that great of a coach. So they don't stand a chance against the top elite anymore. So in no way, shape, or form do I believe Manny Diaz will take Miami University to the promised land. I don't expect him to last there, and frankly, until you get a established, renowned, quality coach, it's not happening. You need good coaching, because all these other programs like Alabama, like LSU, they get more talent than Miami does now. Right. So I think Florida's better than Miami, but not that much better.
Right. There's something else. I'm glad you brought that up, Rob, because, the one guy quoted that we're never going to be good that you read earlier. You got to remember this. Never. But
never,
you got to remember, if we start beating teams like LSU on national TV, a lot of kids will want to come play for us.
It's Hollywood, guys. It's easy to recruit for UCLA. It's easy.
Remember that.
The Rose Bowl. Oh, where do you play your home games? Oh, we play in the Rose Bowl.
Right. I mean,
that being said, the Carrier Dome is awesome, guys. Come on, it's the dome, the Loud House. You don't have to worry about the weather; it's climate controlled. And don't take any of that negative recruiting about the weather. Guess what? It snows in half the damn country, not just Syracuse. Okay,
that's true.
And if you play in November, you're inside. It's cozy. It's good. Be all right. True. Come to the Q, Stars. Come on.
But those kind of games are where you get the recruits. You got a kid in high school. Darn, they were great. They're fun. Maybe I want to go.
Oh, look at it. Everyone's talking about that game, Bob. That's the game. That's the talk of the day. That game. The weekend, UCLA LSU. All this attention. All this hype. Oh, play the song. California, love it. Hollywood, the rest of it. UCLA can absolutely become a dominant football power. They have before, and they could again.
That's right. I mean, this was, games like that are great for recruiting. My brother says that all the time, and that's absolutely true. So, I mean, don't ever say never. I mean,
yeah, especially in sports. Come on.
Yeah, that's just. Well, you know what, man? I'll tell you right now. Whoever you are, whoever put that in.
Well, that was Reese. Put the spread in.
Oh, okay. No, not Reese, but the guy with the never.
The never. Yeah, Steve Bergeron. Never.
Yeah. Well, Steve. No offense, but like you said, we'd never beat LSU either. We just did. So, you're not right, but okay. Never say never.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we noticed this one, Bob. It was the Oregon State at Purdue game. I think we might have missed that for our picks. I can't remember picking that one. Purdue won at home. So again, the Pac-12 did not look good outside of UCLA this weekend.
No, again, it was in Purdue. As a matter of fact, I met a guy watching the UCLA game that was happy because Purdue won that day, yesterday. But you know what? It's a home game, and that's what happens.
And Purdue is a P5 program. They have a very large stadium. They have a massive student population. Purdue is extremely popular.
Right.
Football exists outside the Southeast. It's very popular elsewhere too.
I actually talked to the guy about Wooden a little bit because he went to Purdue. He was a star there. That's they just and you know what's sad about it? A lot of the people that commented, they just ran away. They're not gonna come back. And we would love to have you write in right now. We'll answer your questions. But you guys, you just kind of floated away. So, I'm sorry about that. Who do they have next week, Rob? Oh, they're gonna win. McNeese State or something.
They're playing an FBS team.
Yeah, they're playing.
So that's a given. That's a given.
Oh, and LSU will pick it out on them.
You guys will forget about this game. What's that?
And LSU will pick it out on them. What happened? Yeah, they
absolutely.
Will. Yeah, they will.
They'll blow them out, and
they will.
You guys will start racking up wins, and you'll eventually you'll let the first game go. You'll be too focused on who's coming on the schedule.
Right. Which is Alabama. When they get on, you're gonna be in big trouble. When they come on, I don't know. I mean, the resets are back on that.
Reese, well, we didn't really give Reese a straight answer, honestly. What do we think? He says the spread's currently at 15.5. I'm not betting against Alabama.
15,
I think Alabama will cover that spread. I like 35-17, 42-17 Alabama.
Yeah, me too. I'm surprised it's only 15, but maybe because it's on the road. But Bama's
it's on the road.
Good.
I mean, they'll be rocking. The Swamp will be fired up.
Yeah, right. But
I don't think they can hang. I just don't.
No.
Even at home.
Nope. Miami could. Well, that was a neutral.
Oh,
right?
that was a neutral site game, and it was like I predicted. It was pretty much all Alabama fans.
Right.
But still, I mean, I don't bet against Saban anywhere, anytime.
No.
At this point.
Swamp's pretty hard to win in, right?
Oh, Swamp is definitely a difficult place to win. Like I said, they will be amped up, and they're going to fully believe they can win, which they need to. I mean, who knows? It could keep it close for a while. I'd be shocked if they won, let alone even cover the spread. But you never know. It's SEC. It's a big time game.
Well,
we'll see what happens. Although Jeff Monken, the Army coach, rolled in the Swamp and beat them with the FCS team, which was awesome.
Right.
Georgia Southern at the time.
Well, you know what though, Rob? The thing about it, the reason I don't think Florida can beat them is because this is what makes a team elite going into those tough places on the road and being able to win. See? And most teams can't do it. That's why they're not elite. I mean, and since I'm saying that, and I don't want to throw LSU under the bus one more time, but they're not elite because they went to UCLA and we took them. We took them out. So you can't let that happen if you're elite. That's the difference with Alabama and everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a big difference.
It's a big difference. Yeah,
it's not a relatively close difference at this point.
No. Most teams, even good, even bad ones win at home more than they win on the road. You know, I mean, but the elite ones win on the road and win all the big games, no matter where it is, even in the neutral site. And
you saw it, LSU 2 years ago. They went on the road, kicked ass.
That's exactly
right. Smack Bama around. Yeah. They did it. So you saw what that was, and this time you guys failed. You didn't get it done. So there you go. You can tell the difference between a championship caliber team and one that's not.
Okay, so what's our record for this week on the pick?
Oh, I didn't keep track, Bob. You got only.
We probably should have wrote it down.
You got one or two wrong. I got probably four wrong. Going off the top of my head, I didn't keep track. It's okay. Maybe the listeners can keep track if they're so inclined to go through that and see what we said.
The LSU fans will be now. They're gonna make sure. But
I'm sure every mistaken pick it'll be a finger pointed, hypothetically speaking.
And the two we lost, I mean, Maryland pulled the game out. West Virginia was winning most of that game. And the other one, Wisconsin gave it to Penn State. They really should have won that game. What are you going to do? Sometimes it don't work out.
But, hey, it looks like we got a good game in, I think it's in Tallahassee. It was this last time I saw heading into the half, 3-point game, 17-14 Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Only have this game, and then tomorrow we got Louisville, Mississippi. But, for the most part.
We took Mississippi, right?
We did at home.
Right.
We took Mississippi at home. We took Notre Dame, too, for this game.
And we took Notre Dame, right.
We took Notre Dame because Florida State's been shambles.
Right.
Make no mistake about it.
Interesting, though. We picked Notre Dame, and they're clearly better than Florida State, who's really having a tough time right now. But you see how close the game is? Because the game's in
Florida State had a lead for a while until I just checked it.
Yeah, see? Because the game's in Florida State. That's why. What do you think if the score would have been in Notre Dame?
Probably 17-0.
Maybe even 24 or 31. Yeah. And you know what? No, it's so important with the home field. And I'm going to drive that.
I think Notre Dame's got the new quarterback. I'm pretty sure. I think the previous guy, I think he left.
He left, right.
So there's that. That's a factor.
And their best defensive players in the NFL with the Cleveland Browns is going to be a monster.
So, Florida State could win. We don't believe so, but they could. I think, Bob, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good wrap up for the LSU and the college games. We got a big week coming up, folks.
Oh, boy.
Okay. We're going to be there in person, Bob and I, at the Derek Jeter Baseball Hall of Fame induction in Cooperstown. We're going to be live streaming. We're going to be looking around for guests. We're going to do our best to give you inside production that gives you access to some of these stars.
Let's hope.
And gives you some insights to what they've been through and their experiences. But regardless of whether or not we have a guest or not, Bob and I will be live during the ceremony and beyond.
Right.
Basically. So stay tuned. Definitely spread the love. Even if you hate us, it's okay. Hate gets attention too.
Sometimes. Too many times.
Yeah, especially if there's a like and subscribe involved. Well, the like I don't expect, but at least subscribe. You can downvote everything. Just subscribe. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned. Cooperstown is coming. What do you got to say, Bob?
Yeah, please. We're going to be up there. We're going to try to get everybody we can on. Tim Mead is working on our credentials. Okay, I talked with him. We have the tickets already, the passes. He actually called me today, Ron. So he's working on it. So
there you have it, folks. We may have even greater access than we originally intended to.
Yep.
So if we're there, you'll be there with us, and we look forward to bringing it to you. So stay tuned, folks. Remember, share, like, subscribe. You know the drill. We got to ask it because we need it. Oh, so stay tuned.
Just one more thing. I did watch another YouTube video of a 17-year-old, and I really would like to. I don't remember his name. I got to go back and check it. But he broke that UCLA LSU game down to a T. And he said, 38 points. LSU has to score more than, or they won't win. Ironically, UCLA got 38 points. So that kid hit it right on the barrel head.
So kudos to the kid. And Bob, you'll have to maybe reach out and bring him on the show sometime.
Yeah, he's smart. He's good. I just got to find him. I never kept his name. Yeah, but he's good.
All right. There you have it, folks. Signing off for the Sports Show with Bob Spino. This is Rob. Take care, folks.